Hello, hello. Good morning. We are here to do Pisces for the month of April, kind of walking into May. I kind of can't believe we're here already. Like, how are we doing April and even talking about May being in close proximity? Happy Libra moon, full moon. I hope you all survived what I'm also calling Mr. Toad's wild ride. Because if you have Cancer placements like me, this moon could be squaring your placements. And also then Cancer is in Mars. So if you have Aries placements like me, the Cancer in Mars is squaring your Aries placements. Maybe Saturn and Pisces is sitting on your nodes and then talking to that same sun, conjunct the Cancer and Mars, squaring your moon. Mr. Toad's wild ride indeed. So, but I still wanted to come here and like get all cuddly with the water signs today. And I hope you are all well and that no one has a chart like me. I'm literally having about 20 aspects to this full moon. Connie Jo and I were laughing about it yesterday. Okay, so let's do Pisces. We're going to be looking at your energy, the energy of other, which is just whatever other energy affects you the most. It could be a person, it could be work, it could be obviously romantic, doesn't have to be. It also could be the demons that you are struggling or snuggling with right now. If you are in the healing process and you are trying to either shed an old version of you or step into a new, more healed version of you, either of those could apply. Okay, we are just clearing a few things out here. All right, let's get going with, I think I want to use the Muse deck today. Yeah, let's do that. Hi, Renata and Will and Amanda. Okay. Hi, TS. Hard worker. It's a lot of the other, like, it's a lot of, it's not even this. Like, obviously, I'm not doing readings or making money during this. It's all the other stuff that you end up staying up way too late to do and finding little glitches. My determination is to have everything be as user-friendly as possible for everyone. PayPal is going now. Have a contemptuous, you know, dance that I do with that app. Because they sure do take a chunk. I mean, all the POS systems do, but that one is just ridiculous. They also changed, thank you, love. They also changed all of their new rules. So if you are using PayPal personally or professionally, just go ahead and check that out. You can probably look up a TikTok video on it. You could probably, I'm sure you could find something on YouTube. But they have just changed a ton of stuff. Before April is up, I will have a class posted for, good morning. I wasn't like 6/6, I was like inflamed and not feeling good. But also I was just completely discombobulated. I thought that I had changed the time. Good morning, everyone. But I'm going to do a class as I'm shuffling for Pisces. I'm going to do a class on just the things that you guys like, free apps you can use, because I just know that I have a ton of people, and that's the way we're going to see things going with Aquarius, liberation, freedom, a little more working for ourselves, a little less, you know, sure, will some people still be employed at corporations? Absolutely. But for those that do want to go into their own foray into their own business, possibly social media, I'm also in that class going to cover like who to follow on social media, because like one of the apps, maybe I shouldn't be saying all the other apps names on here, but one of the other apps just changed their algorithms twice in 6 weeks. So and that just means how you get your stuff pushed out if you start with a very small following, because you think, what's the point if only 4 people are going to watch, right? So I'm going to have that up in the next 3 weeks, as far as like people can join and sign up. And I spoke to another friend, and she talked about just making it like $2. So that people make a commitment to show up, because otherwise if you make it completely free, we'll be like, oh, the class is closed because it's Zoom and I want to be able to answer questions, and then like half the people don't show up because they didn't pay for it and they forget. So why? Okay, so we're starting now. I'm actually going to add an intro to this. All right, at 7 minutes, my lord. Pisces, my sweet, romantic, existential thinking, incredibly creative Pisces. How are you all? We are starting this all out with the Knight of Cups in your energy. I find this very interesting. I feel like this... Let's look at the other cards, but I feel like the energy you're coming out of was maybe wanting to say something to someone. And B, you know, normally you'll hear me talk about how I don't really love the Knight of Cups because he's all schmoozy and love bomby. But like if a Pisces Knight of Cups you, it's probably because it's just how they feel, and they're genuinely expressing their most beautiful, creative, artistic, like what they can express love in an artistic way that can feel, but like they want to share music, they want to, that's all genuine if it comes from a Pisces, just saying. Over here, because there's a second, right? Then we have on the side of other, we have Knight of Cups, but in reverse, which of course obviously is not optimal to have it in reverse. And then we have 3 knights in the alchemy, because the center line is alchemy. It's how your energies react to each other, because you know, until it's all together and everybody is completely feeling comfortable, often we're not in full transparency when we're talking to people. So this alchemaic line is to express how the energies are kind of bouncing off of each other. That is the Knight of Wands in reverse. Pisces, for some of you, this is going to be you struggling against you, because you every time that you are open and vulnerable and giving and expressive, especially in a romantic way, you feel like you get your hand bit or slapped. So this may be you fighting against you. For others, I think your last experience that you just had with somebody was really hard. I think the last interaction in love, because this is the past. This is that first line is like, it doesn't matter if it was 2 weeks, 2 months, or 2 years ago. It's the energy that's dropping you off to this reading that's kind of impacting. And what I find here is that there is an energy of it feels a little bit like rejection, but it wasn't full-on rejection. It was dealing with somebody that also at some point showed interest, not only interest, passion, excitement towards you, the butterflies, the, you know, the, and it's funny because in my relationship with a Pisces, it totally was. And Gemma from Gemstones Tarot always says this, no, you hang up. Like, that was there, and then it was gone for you, Pisces. And somebody that once showed you that their interest in you was also physical, took back that physical reaction to you. And I feel like this really kind of messed with your self-esteem a little bit. It may have you guarded right now, particularly. This muse of emotions good morning. This muse of emotions really is showing us either side of like feeling your best self when you approach somebody, when you express that part of you, when you let it out. And kind of like the chaos that can be let in, because I feel like you think that like that brings, they're showing me like a, not like a tornado, but like a whirl of all of this energy, and it feels like it's life-giving. It feels like it's wrapping, it feels like air to breathe. It feels, whatever this was, when you have it, it feels like it doesn't matter what else is wrong in the world. In your environment, it feels so good. It feels like this is the air you're supposed to breathe. This is how you're supposed to feel. And then somebody came along and agreed with you. And then, I know Pisces can sometimes be good at ghosting, but it feels like you might have gotten ghosted. All right, let's look at the energy that's available to you now. And let's be happy that that energy, hi Tanya, let's be happy that that energy has been left in the recent past, and that it's not what's with you now. I still feel for a lot of you, this is you struggling with healing into the other side of you. And what does that mean? What is boundaries, right? Because Pisces sometimes aren't as great with the boundaries. So, hi Neha. Is this about boundaries? So you have to completely shut down to work on your boundaries? Or is this about how do you let people in without giving them permission to completely devastate you? And I feel like that is the struggle back and forth just with you, yourself, and you. We have the Page of Pentacles in reverse here. Feeling like there should have been a new start and there wasn't. Feeling like you were talking about a new start. I think that this person, and this again could have been 2 years ago, or 2 weeks ago, anytime, just it happened before you're sitting for this reading. I feel like there was conversation about stability together. And then it was being taken away. And for some reason, my incredible Pisces, hi DeRay, you cannot seem to get it through your head that doesn't mean you're unstable because somebody didn't want to get stable with you. I want to say that again because that feels important. Because somebody had their own issues. That's a them problem, right? Whatever their own issues were that didn't allow them to sit and get quiet with you and get stable with you doesn't mean that you still can't be stable. You don't need somebody else to do that with you. And because they decided, to do that, that's on them. That's them dealing with that. Has nothing to do with your worth. That has nothing to do with you being worth fighting for. That has nothing to do with not just worth, but it has, what I'm picking up is Pisces. Their inability to know what they want or know how to navigate that in a healthy way has nothing to do with you are a bad choice or you are a bad pick for a partner or there's something lacking in you that makes you a less desirable candidate. That's it. This reading gets more and more interesting. I almost feel like we won't have to clarify it, but we will. We have the Ace of Swords in the upright in others now energy. There's an owl here. There's wisdom coming in. There is, I mean, the Ace of Swords is epiphany. It's enlightenment. It's the aha moment. And it's delivered by universe, your guides, your higher self, intuition, gifts. It's just, oh, I didn't know I needed to hear that. Oh, I didn't realize that was at the crux of my block. It's release. It's a gift. For those of you that the both sides of the table are you and you are looking to walk into a higher more healed version of yourself, where you don't feel like you have to be in vulnerability or in warrior. Vulnerability or warrior, because that's what it feels like. Like you feel like you have to oscillate until you can find somebody safe that's willing to get stable with you so that you can also feel stable. If this isn't you, this person who did not know what they want may all of a sudden know what they want. And let's not forget, we're in shadow of Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde, you know, is the X sliding in the DMs kind of transit, right? In this full moon, though, depending on where your aspects are, you know, Venus, transiting Venus is in there too. And Black Lilith is trining Chiron as well. There is going to be a lot of enlightenment. There is going to be like, oh, I don't have to carry that. There is going to be a lot of that in the collective in general. What is so interesting is we have this Silence of the Lambs death card. I mean, if that is not trying to be Silence of the Lambs, I don't know what it is. See, look, here and there. It was in reverse. Something that was thought that was completely over. No chance. This is done. This is, you couldn't pay me. It's back on the table. The energy is there for it to be back on the table. And I gotta say, Pisces, I feel like 6 months ago, maybe even 2 months ago, definitely 2 years ago, the idea of this being back on the table would have been everything. But where you are now in your healing, where all of this feels for you, I think this feels confusing and also distrusting. I feel like it's almost unsettling that this is back on the table, because you had just made friends with the idea that it wasn't. I almost feel like I'm reading for one person right now. Seven of Cups. When we see the Seven of Cups and when it is upside down, for me, it usually indicates something or someone that it was a hard time making a decision. There were too many choices. It felt foggy. For me, it is very Neptunian. But there is something coming up in this energy, probably closer to May. Maybe near the eclipse in May. Where everything is, there's going to be clarity. It's almost confirmation, because I feel like that death card in reverse stresses you out. Because you're not going to be mad at anyone else but you if you take a chance for the second, third, fourth, fifth time on this thing that's suddenly on the table again. And now all of a sudden, it's here, and it's what you wanted for so long, but you're gonna go down the rabbit hole of not even trusting your own judgment, which is far worse than not trusting somebody else if this fails. I think what we have to do for you, Pisces, is just open up the opportunity that you go into this with a newer, healed version of yourself. And if it fails, then it confirms, if it's not what you want, if it's not the thing that you thought you wanted, it just confirms your growth, and you don't move forward with any what ifs or regrets. No regrets. This is a very deep reading. In your persons or in your other energies, coming up energy, the energy that will be available to them. We have the Eight of Swords. Eight of Cups, and it's in reverse. This is also like the Devil card in reverse. This is very much walking away. Maybe no, I don't want to walk away. So they kind of had all of their love bombing turned off. They were enjoying. They were engaging. Couldn't keep their hands off of you. And then all of a sudden, you're sitting there thinking like, why aren't they talking about the next time they hold me again? Why aren't they talking about they can't wait to get me alone? Why aren't they... This may have even had you down the rabbit hole of like looking on social media to see who else they're talking to, who got their attention, that everything just changed. Then they got an epiphany. Again, this could be you, but there is turning off the feelings that absolutely were being offered, then an epiphany, and now deciding maybe the thing I want to walk away from. There is making a decision that couldn't be made before, that felt like too hard, and also not walking away from what there was original. I mean, the Knight of Emotions in reverse with the Eight of Emotions in reverse after is definitely like turning off the emotions. Maybe that wasn't the best idea. In the middle of that, we have the World card. Everything is changing. It's just not there yet. I don't think that the completion of this situation is May, if I'm being honest. I think it's going to have more of a period in June. I want to clarify this. You have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, the Eight of Swords in reverse, which I like, and the Chariot. Pisces, I think that you're going to be contemplating I actually don't think you're going to be contemplating. This is a go with the gut, go with your heart, follow your heart confirmation on this card, if ever I've seen one. Like, if ever I've seen one. The Chariot movement. We're going towards something. We're doing it without any second thought. The stress, this is actually relieving your anxiety just to do it this way. And it's not the thing that other people may want you to do. It's not the thing that like your mom or, you know, your most pragmatic friend would tell you has the most benefit for you. I do think that there's benefit coming later though, because you did go with your heart. Oh, forgive me. Because if Ace of Pentacles is on the table, that means it can be turned. It means it's still... So weird. I was just having that conversation with one of my metaphysical friends. Was it yesterday, the day before? Maybe the day before. We were saying, you know, we often see, we don't judge because we understand like connections. We often don't judge when somebody's been, we'll call it unlucky in love, right? Well, looky. We'll call it unlucky in love or something. And then somebody who comes along that would like, you know, rub your feet or make dinner or treat you like the king or the queen that you are. Like all of those things that we deserve, that maybe our soul craves, but there's that point of us that's afraid to go into it with like Mr. or Mrs. or them perfect, because we just kind of know that like in the rock, paper, scissors game of connection, no one's going to beat that person, that one person. And you don't want to hurt Mr. or Mrs. or them nice guy. This is going with your heart. It doesn't look like stability to everyone else. You may even think that like this may not be stable, but it's going to fill in every nook and cranny of that connection that can't be topped, can't be beat. And with this person not wanting to walk away after having an epiphany. So I'm going to give you the bad news first, kind of. It's the Two of Pentacles, right? In reverse. So it's going to feel a little out of balance for them, but they are also trading it in, or this is you, for love. Two of Cups. Ace of Wands. You know what this is? Do you know what this is? Fuck feeling balanced. Because that's the person. That is when you realize your person is your person, and now all of a sudden you can't live without them because you're not overthinking it. That might be your person. And again, yes, I feel this energy stepping into May, Pisces, but I don't think that there is, I think we are in suspense of, is this happening, or are they really gonna follow through? Are they going to follow through? Am I going to follow through? Am I going to keep my one foot in this other thing that's just easy? Or am I going to follow where my heart wants to be in connection? Let's take an oracle card. And then I am off like a prom dress to do Scorpio. Let's take these. Okay, you're having a big, huge moment. Now, I have maintained that I think Saturn in Pisces is more about people paying consequence to when they are not responsible to the most vulnerable in our community. But for some of you Pisces, it can be grounding. going to give structure where structure is needed. Totally makes sense to me that Saturn and Pisces would bring the Seven of Cups in reverse, which I quite like the Seven of Cups in reverse. So this is a big, yeah, the crumbling. What are you clinging on to? Gorgeous card. Looks like a tower. Something is going to happen that's going to break all of this up. There is a shift happening right now where anything inauthentic can no longer survive. Relationships, jobs, social structures, anything built on shaky ground is destined to tumble down. It's happening to bring you back home to who you truly are, both individually and to society as a whole. So you can live a life that is in alignment with who you truly are. When you are in the thick of it, it can feel like a personal attack from universe. Have faith, because the difficult times will be your defining moments. You will be reborn in the fire. You're being called to surrender. Stop trying to hold it all together, to loosen your grip, to let crumbling occur. It may be difficult at first, but in the end, the sooner you let go, the sooner the rebirthing will occur. I love that. I love that for you, Pisces. All right, Pisces, I love you. Now you love you. I hope that this reading was helpful. You know, if you want to talk to me personally and in a consultation session, whatever, links are in the description. And hopefully I'll see you all Friday night. This Sunday we're not doing anything because, you know, lots of people celebrating the weekend. So I will be there Friday night, and then I will see you next week. But I'm off to do Scorpio and Cancer right now. Okay. Bye.